Good evening. My name is Paula Schultz, and I will be talking to you about a company-wide community service project that we are planning on kicking off in the next couple of months. Taking a look at our agenda, we are going to be working with the Children's Summer Camp, and why this is important is because it gives us a little bit of face within our community, but also too with other places that might want to have community service. We will be looking at some of the risks that are involved, looking at project details on what it is and what we're expected to do with this children's camp. Next, we'll look at the project budget, so a projection of what we're looking at spending for this community service project, our stakeholders, who they are, and why they are important for this project. Then we're going to be looking at the project teams and what they'll be doing throughout the project preparation, and then also looking at some follow-up tasks that they might have. As I said before, we will be working with the children's summer camp and helping clean up along with beautification. Some key points is that we're trying to build trust within our employees. We're also trying to build our company image, and we're also trying to help out the community as much as we can. Some major risks that we might see are some weather conditions because they may not be favorable for when we decide to do this. Plants might not be in on time, and this is something that we will have to work well with our vendors for the flowers. And some personal health. Some people might have allergies and might not be able to do as much work, and we'll figure that out as we go. So what we will be doing at the campground, we'll be planting flowers and trees. We will be cleaning up any trash that we see along the way and taking care of it properly. The camp has said that there are many fallen trees along the property, so we'll be clearing out the fallen trees, but we will be saving the wood so that they can use the firewood during the summertime. We will be repairing buildings that need the repairs. We'll be removing old mulch and adding in new mulch for the flower beds and around the new trees. Next, we'll be taking a look at our project budget. So with a lot of equipment along with items needed for this renovation, we are looking at a lot of different possibilities. But looking at it, we're estimating a total of $29,000, but on a high-end budget, we're looking at $35,000. However, if we are under budget of the $35,000, anything left over will roll over into next year's budget, so then we can factor on that. This year with the project, we're looking at flowers, mulch, tree saplings, any building supplies that we might need, equipment rental, which is also including the fuel for any chainsaws that we use, painting supplies, gardening supplies, and of course the group lunches for the 3 days that we'll be doing this project. The project timeline is going to be placed out in over a year's time. Because we're almost already to May, we won't be doing this project until next year. So what we want to do is spend the time right now into looking at a camp contract and have that deadline about October 20th. We're already starting on looking at camps and to see which camps might be interested for us to do our project. Our greenhouse orders, which will include flowers, trees, and mulches, should be done relatively February 25th, so this gives us enough time to price out which greenhouses are local in the area and to be able to give them business. Equipment contracts should be in by April 15th, so that way we have enough understanding of what the equipment rental companies are looking for and what they expect from us to use their equipment. Our building paint and gardening materials, so this will include any and all tools and supplies needed, should be in by March 25th. And of course with that we have enough time to look around at different businesses to see if we can't get a little bit of a discount with our big orders that we will be placing. Our catering contracts should be in by April 5th or April 10th to give a better understanding of what they're looking for and also give the company time to prepare what we're expecting. And then our cleanup day will be May 18th through the 20th. So again, this is a year out. So we have enough time to focus on when our contracts are due. So who exactly are our stakeholders in this project? First off, the camp is our customer. They are wanting the service, and they are the biggest stakeholders that we have in order to fulfill. We're looking at the greenhouses that we may order the flowers and trees from. We're giving them the business. The lumber yards for buying the lumber. Any home improvement stores that we are dealing with because we're buying the materials that we need in order to do this project. Equipment rental stores for renting the equipment that will be used, and also the catering company for preparing the food for us during those 3 days. Next, we'll be looking at the project teams. We want to spread out everyone so that way we can do a lot more in a short amount of time. And plus, if we focus everything on one group, we won't be able to get as much done throughout the coming year. So the first team is the camp planning team. These are the ones that are getting the contract set to work with the camp, along with getting any information that the camp is requesting, may it be flowers or trees that they wish to see on the premises. Next is the equipment team, and these are going to be the people that are pricing out the equipment, along with forming that contract with the rental company to understand what they are expecting of us when we do rent equipment, and also if we need to pick them up or if they will be delivered to us. The third team is called the Going Green team, and these people are going to be working with the greenhouses and getting the flower and tree orders in, along with the mulch orders that will be needed for the cleanup. Next one is the improvement team, and this team will be working with the home improvement stores and getting orders in of any materials that we will need throughout the project. And last is the catering team. So this team is going to be focused on looking for restaurants and to form a contract for the project days when we need the catering service. Looking at the follow-up tasks that we already have in place, the camp team needs to confirm a camp by June 28th. And this is because we want to get a good understanding of what the camp needs by July 15 and then continue to go from there in order to start getting preparations for any orderings that may be coming to get a head start on this. We're also looking at the catering team to get food ideas so that way we can understand what team members are wanting during our community service days, and that way it's not a last minute to find a restaurant in order to get the catering service. So my narrative for this project, and I'm not sure if it's supposed to be in it, but I'm going to put it in it anyways. I went through and broke down what I felt would be a good cleanup strategy for a camp. I've had family members that work at a Christian summer camp for kids, and so I understood a little bit of what they did and kind of took that and broke it down as almost a community service project. Building maintenance was always a big thing. I had an uncle that worked there, and he would do a lot of the building maintenance repairs. So any roofing repair, if there was a hole on the side of the building or anything like that. My grandma did a lot of the flowers throughout the camp, and that was kind of her donation. An unofficial part of the camp was to buy flowers and plant them throughout the grounds. And I did consider that a lot in my project. The struggle that I found the most was trying to get pricing on everything because of how everything is fluctuating, and especially with it kind of still being the off season, they're really high prices. And given that starting to flower or starting to plant stuff isn't until like May-ish, we're seeing the high prices, and once May comes around, then they kind of trickle down a little bit. So a lot of this is guesswork on what it would be within that time that the place or the orders would be placed. And I think even the budget is still, even though I projected for a $35,000, I still feel that's kind of on the low side. And the budget might be even bigger than what I projected it to be.